What's up guys, it's Clifftongasium and I am back with some OU, and this is actually a battle featuring myself and a very good friend of mine known as CZ or CZ if you're from England, but I know him as BioPokes. He was the OU player for the UK in the first week I think of the World Cup proper. But this is actually a battle that me and him had around then. So this is a really old OU battle that me and him had. But his team was Infernape, Abomasnow, Heatran, Starmie, Slowbro, and Nidoqueen. Very interesting team. And my team was Tyranitar, Ferrothorn, Gliscor, Lucario, Gastrodon, and Landorus. He brought his main team, the team that he is most comfortable with, and it's a very, very good Howstall team. Well, it's Howstall-esque team with some very good offensive threats in there with the Infernape and the Starmie, the Heatran to phase, and the Slowbro is a very good poke for him to set up with. My team is it looks a very offensive. Well, it is. It's an offensive sand team with the T-Tar and special Lucario and the a standard Landorus set. Before I talk too much and before I bore you guys to death, because I don't think you all want to listen to me that much, I will get this battle started. So I lead off with my Tyranitar and he's going to lead off with the Infernape. I don't want to take a close combat, so I'm just going to bounce out into my Gliscor, you know, not over predict anything yet and just predict that close combat. I will get my Toxic Orb, and the safest move for him to go and get his Hail Up. He won't be taking any damage because nothing on my team takes damage from sand, and stuff on his team does. He gets his Hail Up and he's going to try and scare me out with the Ice move. I protect, just want to scout, see what he's going to do. I also get some Toxic Heal, and he does reveal the Leech Seed on his Abomasnow, so I feel safe going into my Tyranitar. Here he Ice Shards, probably predicting me to stay in. And I kind of misplay with my Tyranitar a little bit, bringing it in on the Abomasnow because the Wood Hammer would kill. But I think if the Wood Hammer does come, I'm going to go out into my Ferrothorn. We do both pull a switch as he goes into his Infernape. Now I want to protect, just scout what the Infernape wants to do. And he goes for the U-turn and then hard switches on the next turn. And I feel the hard switch coming, so I do want to set up my rocks. And if he is stuck in the U-turn, it won't matter, I can still get my rocks up. Now I'm going to go into my Gastro on his Heatran, and he's going to go into his Starmie on my Gastro. I feel safe just Earth Powering because the Starmie can't hit me at all because I am max HP, max special defense, and as much as he tries to recover stall on me, trying to get me to switch, I just feel safe doing this, and I'm going to keep doing it. And he's going to switch into the Abomasnow, which is something very good for him to go into because it's going to be a resisted hit, and it probably won't do much anyway. Now I'm going to misplay again, sort of, and go into my Tyranitar. He does predict me to do it this time and fire off the Wood Hammer. I kind of assumed that he didn't have it at that time, but whatever. I'm now going to go into my special Lucario, and the Nidoqueen is going to come in as I go for a Hidden Power Ice, because I knew the Nidoqueen would be a good counter to a Vacuum Wave or a Aura Sphere. So I assumed he'd go into that, and if he didn't and stayed in, the Hidden Power Ice would hit hard. He's going to go into his Slowbro because the Hidden Power Ice won't do anything to Slowbro, and he gets a free Scold off on whatever wants to come in on it, and it is the Ferrothorn that does come in. I get burn on my Ferrothorn, which I'm not really liking as he goes into his Heatran. Now the Power Whip will do sod all to a Heatran because, you know, the 4 times resistance and stuff like that. I just protect, scout what he wants to do, and he does go for the Lava Plume. So I'm kind of just trying to play safe and scout moves here because I want to see what he's got. And he does go for the Earth Power on my Gastrodon switch. I don't know why he did that. I think it maybe was predicting something else. But I do manage to go into the Gastrodon freely and Ice Beam on his switch into the Slowbro. Not going to do anything to the Slowbro, of course. And I just start firing off scores to see if I can get a Scald Burn. And he's going to go for the Psychics, trying to get the special defense drop. And none of us are really getting much hacks, and he will be able to get up to full health because Earth Power will be doing nothing to Slowbro. I think he feels safe here to go into the Starmie to resist the Scald, but I do get the burn that time, and he's not going to like that at all, because the Starmie's going to be taking extra damage that it doesn't want to be taking, and my Earth Power does like 46%, then plus the 13 from the burn and the 6 from the sand. The Starmie has no survivability, so he's just going to rapid spin my Rock Sway is the last thing he does, go into his Abomasnow, and Leech Seed on my Ice Beam. I see that he's faster than me. Maybe he will go for the Wood Hammer this turn. I don't want to take a Wood Hammer with a Gastrodon, because that will kill me with the 4x super effective. Obviously, the Wood Hammer on the Ferroform, though, I feel much safer about that, and he will take some Iron Barbs damage, which in general is nice. And the Ice Shard doesn't do anything. I do manage to get my Gyro Ball off and kill the Abomasnow, but obviously I haven't won the Weather War because he killed my Tyranitar much earlier on in this battle. The Nidoqueen comes in and he sees this as an opportunity to start setting up his Toxic Spikes, which is a very good opportunity for him. He does only get one up, before he switches into his Slowbro, though, to resist my Earthquake incoming from my Landorus, which is a very good play for him, because I could have predicted that and gone for a U-turn. I think a U-turn still would have done a decent amount to the Nidoqueen anyway, probably would have killed it, but I went for the Earthquake. Anyway, he Earthquakes on my Gastrodon as I've brought it in on one Toxic Spike, because I'd much rather it be poisoned than badly poisoned. I'd much rather only have 13% than a doubling amount each turn. I do kind of just let my Gastrodon here die, so that I can see if he wants to, if he's banded or scarfed or whatever, because I didn't really get a good scout on it with Gliscor before. With Min-Max, I would have seen a lot better with 2 hits. He's going to go into his Slowbro, because Slowbro does counter Gliscor quite a lot, but I know I'm going to live one Scald, and I know I can get off a Toxic. I was kind of risking an Ice Beam, but I just assumed that he was Psychic, Scald, Calm Mind, and Substitute. The second Scald will kill me, but I do have the Slowbro Toxic. I probably should have protected the turn before. Landorus will come in here and U-turn out. It doesn't kill the Slowbro, however, so Lucario has to take this Scald. I'm not really bothered about Lucario taking a Scald, because if it does get burnt, I'm fine with it, because this is a special Lucario. The Heatran's going to come in here. I'm going to outspeed it an Aura Sphere, and that's going to do a decent amount of damage. And now it's just the Infernape and the Heatran left. But I don't know if the Infernape's scarfed or banded, because I will outspeed the Heatran and kill it. But if the Infernape is scarfed and mixed, it will kill me with Hidden Power Ice. And as you see there, the clutch Infernape with the Hidden Power Ice does take out my Landorus. So CZ wins, or Biopokes wins. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this battle. Like, comment, rate, subscribe, do all that lovely stuff for the POSim. Come over and check me out, obviously. I'm Clifftongasium. I was also the guy that lost this battle, however, but I so graciously decided to narrate it because it was a good battle, and there was interesting things on the teams. So hopefully you enjoyed it, hopefully you enjoyed me. I've been Clifftongasium. I'll see you next time.